You're watching NFL Daily, and if you're looking for news and rumors, you're in the right place. Mitchell Reds from Chat Sports, ready to go through a very eventful, we'll say, past 24 hours in the National Football League. We had a Russell Wilson trade. We'll talk about that at the end of today's show. But also, we had a brand new trade, and I always say that the NFL is a very domino type of league, where if something happens, the other dominoes start to fall. So we're going to talk about Carson Wentz because he woke up this morning, the quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts, and he's going to go to sleep tonight as the quarterback of the Washington Commanders. So the fact that Washington is going to take on his entire contract, I personally thought that was stupid and a little bit surprising, but Washington was desperate. They needed a quarterback, and I know a lot of people are going to rip on Carson for the late collapse that Indy had, and he should get blamed. He played very bad against the Raiders in Week 17 and was an absolute fraud in Week 18 up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. However, he still was at least halfway decent, and I've actually seen some people online say, I'd rather have Tyler Heineke. No, I'd rather have a Heineke. I wouldn't rather have a Heineke, though, right? So last season, 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He had a great run game. He had a great offensive line. He had a great defense. He's still going to have a lot of that stuff, I think, going forward into Washington. And I'll tell you what, I grew up in Philadelphia. I can't wait to see Washington and Wentz go up against Philly twice a year. Just watch out for the batteries. So here was the trade that ended up going down today. Carson Wentz and a 2022 second-round pick. That's what Washington receives. The Colts get a second-round pick, a third-round pick in 2022 as well, and then a 2023 third-round pick, but that third could become a second if Carson Wentz plays in 70% of the game. So what I want to know from everyone watching right now, we got almost 450 people on this live bad boy. Who won the deal? Let me know what you're thinking. If you believe that the Washington Commanders won, go ahead and type WAS. If you're sitting there like, you know what, Mitch, I think the Colts ended up winning this deal, I want you to type IND. To be honest with y'all, I could see this going a little bit of both ways. I am still going to say that I think Indy won the deal because the fact that Washington is taking on Wentz's contract, and then if the Colts were able to, let's say, flip one of those third-round picks for a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo, and then you also have extra draft picks on top of that, plus you got rid of Carson Wentz's contract, that to me is an indicator of that the Indianapolis Colts are going to win. So here's now what the Colts can do. You can either go into free agency, right? I mean, it's definitely a possibility. You can go ahead and draft, or you can go ahead and trade for a quarterback. When I listen to Jim Irsay talk, I hear an aggressive owner. I hear an aggressive guy who's like, you know what? I want to make a splash, and I think that we can be a competitive team if we have a solid quarterback. The 5 quarterbacks that are the most realistic, in my opinion, to go out and trade for: Jimmy Garoppolo, Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins, Matt Ryan, and I threw Deshaun Watson in here, even though I would be shocked if the Texans traded him to a division rival. But if there's a team dumb enough to do it, it's the Houston Texans. So I'm telling y'all right now, if Indy goes ahead and they pull off a crazy deal, whether it's for Garoppolo, Derek Carr, or somebody else, we're going to be covering it here for you. We went live yesterday for the Russell Wilson trade. Unfortunately, today, we couldn't go live right away for the Carson Wentz deal, but we decided to break it down for you here on our live show. To make sure you never miss anything going on around the National Football League, I want you to hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications because the offseason's here, y'all, and I want you to buckle up, as a wise man once said. Let's now talk about the next rumor here on NFL Daily, and it's around Jimmy Garoppolo, and could he be on his way to Indy? Well, the latest reports are right now, and I even saw something from Jordan Schultz that said the Colts' top priority right now is getting Jimmy Garoppolo, the 49ers quarterback, into Indianapolis. The fact that Indy has already traded Wentz to Washington tells me that they're ready to start going. And Jim Irsay at the NFL Scouting Combine said that they were looking for a quarterback and that they've been looking for a quarterback. So why not go out and try to get a guy like Jimmy G? I get it. Garoppolo is not this, like, sexy name. He's in this, like, realm of quarterbacks kind of in purgatory where they're good. They might not ever be able to lead you to a Super Bowl, but if you surround them with a lot of talent, you can be successful. And I believe Garoppolo on Indianapolis, that's a playoff caliber team. Why? All he's going to have to do is hand it off to Jonathan Taylor, rely on his defense, not turn over the football. It's exactly what he did in San Francisco, and we've seen this guy be able to get to a Super Bowl and then, sure, came up just short against the Rams, who just went ahead and won the Super Bowl. If you see that and you can get him at a cheaper price, $24.2 million, give a third-round pick, I think you're crazy if you don't at least open the door to that, Indianapolis. But here's my question. If Jim Irsay was sitting down with all of his guys and he said, all right, guys, we're going to trade away Carson Wentz, but only if you think Jimmy Garoppolo is better. Here's my question to you. Who is the better quarterback? Do you think it's Jimmy Garoppolo? I want you to go ahead and type JG. If you think it's Carson Wentz, type CW. If you want to throw in the overall contract idea, $24.2 for Jimmy Garoppolo. You're looking at about $28 million for Carson Wentz. Let me know who's the better quarterback. From a talent standpoint, I still think it's Carson Wentz. However, I would have a lot more confidence in Jimmy Garoppolo getting me to the playoffs than I would Wentz. Now, Wentz, he might look like somebody that wears, I don't know, something that looks a lot like this, red hair. Well, that's what we're going to go with. So if you guys are looking for some brand new St. Patty's Day gear, we got it for y'all. Just go to chatsports.com/NFL Green. My girlfriend, she told me yesterday, she's like, hey, we're going to a St. Patty's Day party Saturday morning. I'm like, great, I have nothing to wear. But now I know that I can wear these awesome Raiders socks or any kind of awesome gear. Wear at chatsports.com/NFL Green. I always find it funny that this is like the one day of the year that everyone tries to wear a hideous color. I'm sorry, not a fan of green, Dad. But I never know what to wear, and I'm always looking through my closet, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. You might as well rep your favorite team. You might as well get wasted while you're doing it as well. So it's chatsports.com/NFL Green. Tons. And I mean tons of NFL gear. Let's now talk about Deshaun Watson. A lot of quarterback rumors here on today's show. The report is this, that the Seattle Seahawks are actually interested in Watson because, remember, if you live underneath a rock, Seattle just traded away Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos, which we will talk about here in a second. Ian Rappaport also said that multiple teams are actually interested in Watson. He said this yesterday. Here's the thing, though. A grand jury is set to hear the cases against Watson, and ESPN released an article this morning on Watson's legal case that said this: the grand jury process does not require a unanimous vote. If 9 of the 12 grand jurors return what's known as a true bill under Texas law, Harris County, Texas District Attorney Kim Ogg could then opt to proceed with a criminal case against Watson. The range of potential criminal charge for Watson faces include assault and harassment, all misdemeanor offenses. He could also be charged with the more serious sexual assault, a second-degree felony in Texas, punishable by 2 to 20 years in prison. I don't know about y'all, I see 2 to 20 years in prison, and then I hear all these people talking about Deshaun Watson trades. Until this goes away, this question is valid. And until this question goes away, it's really hard to project what exactly Deshaun Watson would be worth in a trade, and would I want my NFL team to go out and get him? So type that Y for yes, type N for no. Will Deshaun Watson play in the NFL this season? Now let's go ahead and let's say Deshaun Watson's cleared of all charges. He's going to be playing in 2022. He's made it very, very obvious that he does not want to be a member of the Houston Texans anymore, and to be honest, I'm not really sure that I blame him. So I would say that the top 5 teams most likely to go out and trade for Watson would be the Carolina Panthers, the Seattle Seahawks, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. If you guys disagree with me, please let me know another team that you think can go out and trade for Watson. So yesterday we had a huge blockbuster deal, which is really what I think got a lot of these quarterback rumors rolling around Carson Wentz, around Jimmy Garoppolo, now even again with Deshaun Watson. And here's the deal that ended up going down. The Seahawks, they got Drew Lock, Shelby Harris, Noah Fant, 2 first-rounders, 2 second-rounders, a 5th-round pick. Denver ended up getting Russell Wilson and a 4th-rounder. Well, the fact that Russell Wilson now is with the Denver Broncos and heading on over to the AFC West, I don't want to hear any more debate. The AFC West is the toughest and best division in the National Football League. When you're talking about Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, Derek Carr, those 4 quarterbacks right there are all in the top 12 in the National Football League. That's really crazy to me. No doubt about it. And I'm going to tell you how I'm going to rank these AFC West quarterbacks because I've been getting asked a ton. But before I do, I am really excited to say that Chat Sports has partnered with Locals. And if anybody out there is just looking for extra NFL content, more content where you can get to know me and a bunch of the other guys here at Chat Sports better, go ahead and check us out at locals.com. If you're a Raiders fan, or even if you're not a Raiders fan, if you want to challenge me to my March Madness tournament that I got going on Locals, all you got to do is go to RaidersReport.locals.com, become a supporter. The winner's going to receive a Marcus Allen signed football helmet. Yes, one of the greatest running backs all time in the NFL, and arguably the greatest running back for the Raiders, Marcus Allen. I got a signed helmet from him, and if you want to join my March Madness challenge, winner's going to get a signed helmet. It's RaidersReport.locals.com. Become a supporter and let me know. So before I reveal my rankings here of my top 4 quarterbacks in the AFC West, I'll rank them 1, 2, 3, 4. Who's the worst quarterback in the AFC West? I've been seeing this question on IG, on Twitter. It's definitely in my DMs. There's no doubt about it. But who's the worst quarterback in the AFC West? If you believe it's Patrick Mahomes, go ahead and type PM. If you think it's Russell Wilson, type RW. Justin Herbert, JH. Derek Carr, type DC. Get some of those votes in, and I'm going to throw this out here. I know there's a lot of split cases. I don't see anybody typing PM, and I know Raider Nation is probably not going to like what I'm about to say, but I'm going to have it as Mahomes as number 1, Russell Wilson at number 2, Justin Herbert at 3, Derek Carr at 4. And this is not a knock on DC. This is just you're in a division now with a lot of very talented people. It's clearly Mahomes and Wilson at your top 2. Herbert, I think you could at least have an argument because it's like, what has he done yet? But if you watch Herbert on the field and you're like, yeah, that guy just has more superior arm talent. He's a lot more mobile. He gives the team a better chance to win than DC. But DC is still a very legit quarterback. And the fact that we're going to be able to see these matchups all season, get ready because it's going to be a lot of entertainment out of the AFC West.